Hello, Flosstube. Good morning. It is Saturday, February 14th, 15th, 16th, I think. 14th was Thursday. 16th. Uh, Welcome to my channel. I'm Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches. This is Flosstube number 48. And we're here to talk about cross stitch. And so I think I'm going to start off with, I have a finish. And I have one work in progress that I want to talk about a little bit too. And yeah, so my finish is part of my Stitch 9 challenge. And I kind of like, I have been, I guess, I worked a little bit on that, on the overall, on the projects that I chose for the Stitch 9 challenge. And, oh, I meant to say, welcome back to my subscribers, and welcome to any first-time visitors. Anyway, back to cross stitch. What we talked about before. So I'm participating in the Stitch 9 challenge, and I chose 9 projects, and I have finished one of them from the Stitch 9 challenge, and so this is the second one. And I still have a lot of, I have to do FFOing on this, but the stitching part is done. So here's the one part of it, which is the grapes. I finished the little sparkling grapes, and they came out pretty good. You can actually see the dark purple now, the cornflower blue in this, but came out very nice. Little green vines. So there's this is the lower part. And then I finished this the other night. This is the upper part, the little leaf. And it goes on top of it, kind of like, let's see if I can do it. Like this, kind of. So that's a really bad showing of it. Yeah. This is the fold over lid part. And it looks like, hold on a second. Excuse me. I thought I pulled out here is the picture of the finished product, what it's supposed to look like eventually. It's a scissors case. So this is the leaf part will fold over the lower part with the grapes on the vine. There are 2 pieces of fabric, stuck together like this, and the green leaf part folds over the top, and the scissors go in between. So that's the part that's the hard part that I have to do still. So yeah, but there's some little back stitching. I almost forgot about the back stitching I had when I finished the leaves. I was like, oh good, I'm almost done. When I was finishing this green part, and I thought, oh no, there's the back stitching. And somehow I had not pulled it's just 310, your basic black, back for the back stitching. And really, there's only a little bit of back stitching here. Oops, that's the back. For these little green vines. This is the only back stitching in this part, and then just the veins of the leaf. That's the only back stitching in this part. So this is slower going, than I had anticipated, but that's because of the. Sorry about the cat hair. I don't know if it shows up there, but it shows up here pretty badly. But I had to go kind of slow because of the cry neck. I had to, I held it pretty. Oh, sorry, ouch. Pretty tightly to get it to cooperate. And then I did go back and with cry neck and go over some of the darker purple part there so that the cornflower blue or whatever it is, so that it would sparkle a little more. Because as I talked about before, when I first showed this, I had not gotten the chronic that I needed for the project at first, and I was using a variegated purple, like, embroidery thread that was kind of metallic looking, kind of, sort of, and I wasn't very happy with it. So I went back. I did order the chronic from 123 Stitch. Purple and chartreuse are the colors, and I went back and went over this, a lot of, not all of, the cornflower blue stitching with with 2 strands of chronic. And I found one little square over here somewhere that was supposed to be done in the cornflower blue that I missed somehow. Not hard to miss on black on this black fabric. But anyway, so I just went and as I was highlighting the cornflower blue areas, I just stitched the purple chronic in there by itself, and then I had the green on hand to do the leaf, and it came out pretty good. So now I just have to, like, read and read and read, so I understand completely about how to how to do the black fabric stuff. I'm not looking forward to that. And then the only other thing I worked on this week, just a little bit yesterday, was finishing this penguin, working on this penguin. I did the back stitching on his body, and I finished this little white stuff on the scarf. And right now, my needle is sticking up here. I have to do some, excuse me, some red, I'm going to do colonial knots here. He's still blind. And there's the rest of the back stitching that's left is, there's some gray that goes down this front here. I don't think I've done it, have I? No, I haven't done it. That goes down his tummy. And then black outlining him and his outlining his beak, and there's a black colonial knot here, and then outlining his feet, and then doing his skates down here. You can see on the picture his skates are done. All this is, one strand of 310, but then his skates are 2 strands. But so there's not much left. I'm almost finished with it. And actually, since it's almost done, since the grapes are done, I want to finish stitching this just to knock it out and get it done with. And then, of my Stitch 9 projects, they're, excuse me, sorry, they're a little bit bigger. I think the smallest one is I have 2, I have another penguin, oddly enough. A Christmas little penguin, and then Eeyore, I think, is the other smallish one. He's good sized, but and a lot of stitching, but not huge, not like the piano cat and the wolf thing that I showed last time. That are bigger projects and daily walk in the woods, But so if I can get that penguin knocked out. In the next, like maybe this weekend or something, I think I can finish stitching on that. Then I can go on to the other things. What I did on yesterday, since I had that finish Thursday night, Friday morning, I spent the day going through my fabric stash. I talked a little bit last week about how I had bought a couple more pieces of fabric, and I had, and I had a stack of them that I had not, kitted up anything. I have a few things that have a few projects that are not part of my Stitch 9. I have a couple, 2 or 3, I guess. That are started, that have fabric in them, and I've stitched a little bit on them. And then I have a whole bunch of charts that are I have some that are kits that I bought as kits. So they have a piece of fabric and they have threads and all that. And but but the majority of my charts, like most people, are just the charts by themselves. And some are old, really old, and some are. There's a few that are new that I bought in the last few years. And but my little pile of fabric, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have tons like some people do, but I have I have a good stack of mostly Ada, and a medium stack of even weave, which is mostly stuff that I bought more recently. Pup, snug, snug. Don't do that, please. And then a even smaller stack of linens. Some stuff that I bought recently, some stuff that I've had for a while, um, but and some random things. Excuse me, just 1 second. Okay, sorry. Um, but anyway, so I spent Friday going through my uh, stack of fabric and actually writing down uh, I did this with my charts the other several weeks ago. I went through and put them all on the computer on listed. I went through all my charts and all my kits uh, so that I have a list of all the things that I worked on, all the things that I intend to work on, and I've sort of maybe gone through and found some things that I will probably not work on, you know. Uh, so I might actually do a giveaway at one point. I have never done one because I don't feel like I have enough. I don't have very many followers, and I don't have a whole lot of kits that I don't want to do. I have maybe a few more now. I have a better idea of ones that I probably won't do, and that other people might be interested in. But anyway, so I did the same thing with my little stack of fabric. I made a. That's not it. uh, 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 a list of all my fabric. So I went through and listed them all and went over them all, what they all are, and mostly what size they are, so that I can get a better idea. I think I only have one piece of fabric that I bought specifically for a specific chart, and I had that written down, like, okay, this fabric is for this chart. But all the others, I want to go through and sort of pair them up and see what's the appropriate size and count and maybe type of color for whatever chart I have. Aside things that I want to do that I bought fairly recently, that may or may not be appropriate for whatever piece of fabric I have. And also, this allows me, I have this retreat, the Stitch Nanigans Arizona retreat, coming up in a little over a month, in April, in early April. And, one of those will be an excursion. Part of that will be an excursion to the attic, and there might be things available at the retreat itself. So I want to be prepared for what I might need to get and want to get for any charts that I have. And of course, I might find something that I want to buy um, over that weekend. So I want to know what I have so that I don't duplicate, and so that I also that I get what I need. If I know I need something, that I can look for it more uh, more easily. And I also just I want to try to save some money for the retreat weekend, so that I can buy stuff. And so anyway, so I don't want to buy it. It's like leading up to your birthday or for Christmas. You don't want to buy things until you know what you need. After the holidays and after people are giving you things, then you know what you might need to get. Anyway, so I think that's all the stitching that I've done. I didn't do, like I said, I spent the week working on that project, and it was kind of slow going, but I was able to finish it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was um, I don't think I mentioned this at Christmas or showed it at Christmas anyway, but I have this little pouch made out of a Nestle's Crunch bag that my little sister made for me. She does quilting and stuff like that, and she made this one for me, and she made another one for my older sister out of a Twizzlers bag. And I think Pam and Steph showed something similar to this that someone had made for them out of Dove chocolate bags. So this is the same idea. I think it's a candy bag, and it's, I guess, fused with a piece of nylon. I forgot what she told me, but it has a little zipper on top, and there's fabric on the inside that lines it. And I had this in my purse, and I don't have my purse down here, but I was using, I have a batik cloth bag that has elephants on it that my sister gave me some time ago, and I was using that as a purse, but it's basically like, it's one of those, it's just a bag on the inside, and on the outside there's a pocket, and on one side, and on the other side there's a zipper pocket, but it doesn't have, anything on the inside to separate stuff. So I was using this inside for like, gum, and I have a little pill box with some ibuprofen and stuff like that. And so I was using it to help organize stuff. But, and I have another little bag in there with lotion and stuff like that. But then, and the reason I was using that, excuse me, just stay over there, please, is that I had a purse, and I think most women can relate to this. I had a purse that, after a while, I didn't want to carry it because it was a little too big and a little too, I don't know what. So I recently, so I switched to the bag, to the batik bag, and so I talked about, excuse me, how my mother had gotten a cochlear implant not too long ago, and it's great. It's fantastic. She can actually hear and participate in conversations, and it's a wonderful thing. But so we were talking about how she needed to carry certain things in her purse because of the cochlear implant, and we've been talking about it for a while, and the purse that she had, was it was floppy and old, and I don't know, and something fell like in the lining of it or something recently, and so we had finally convinced her, yes, you need a new purse. So there's a store. I don't know if it's a nationwide chain, or I know there are several stores here in Phoenix, so I'm assuming it's a nationwide chain. But it's a place called Charming Charlie, and that's actually where I bought the purse that I had before. That I bought shortly after I moved out here in 2015, and anyway, so I got a new purse there. So I moved from the batik bag into this purse, and that's why I retired that. So I got this little bag, really nice bag. Charming Charlie's. Oops, this side. There's a zipper on the outside. There's a little pull thing. Anyway, so when I started using this purse, excuse me, I want to put it somewhere where the cat won't get it. When I started using that purse, this didn't fit well in there. It's a little too tall to go in like this, and I didn't want to put it in sideways and have to fish it out every time I used it and whatever. So, and it was, so I'm going to use this for cross stitch stuff, I think. either as a notions pouch or to put maybe have smaller projects or whatever. I don't know. But I was reminded of something that my little sister, had said about buying a purse. That that buying a purse is like buying a house. You have to make sure that it has enough rooms for everything you need, and that all your furniture fits in each room, and that each room is appropriate for what you're going to use it for. And that's a wonderful analogy for a purse. You have to make sure the purse has enough compartments, and each compartment is big enough for whatever you're going to put in there. And so yeah. So I have a new purse, and which is haul, but it's not exactly stitch related. But this is like haul now. But I think that's about it. I was afraid I was getting sick, and I seem to have fended it off. But Thursday was when we went to Charlie's Thursday afternoon, I guess. And that afternoon and into Friday, I was sneezing my head off, and I was afraid I was getting a cold. And so, here's my cup. Excuse me, my Starbucks cup. And so Thursday night, maybe Friday morning, maybe. I drank a packet of it's a store brand, kind of like Theraflu, cold medicine, in a powder that you drink and you mix with hot water, and that's what that is, and so I don't know if I had some kind of a 24-hour bug, or if the Theraflu stuff worked the way it was supposed to, and helped me fend off the cold or whatever. But I feel much better, and I haven't been sneezing my head off like I was all day, basically all day Friday. It seemed to have cleared up Friday night, so I'm all better. Anyway, so I think that's it. It's just a quick 20-minute review. So my plans are to finish that little penguin, and work more on my Stitch 9 stuff, but primarily to finish that scissors case, so that it'll be all ready for Stitch shenanigans, and also with the fabric that I have, the fabric that I showed last week, that I have one blue piece that I'll probably leave alone, but I have 3 that are white that I will probably dye. I have some avocado skins and hulls that I recently saved. We had I made guacamole the last this last week, and I think the week before. So I have these avocado skins and stuff, saved in the refrigerator. So I'll probably dye one of those pieces with those avocado skins. And the others, I want to experiment with that Rit dye that I showed last week that I bought. I'm just kind of chicken and kind of indecisive about, like, do I want to do this color? Do I want to do it that color? And it's really not that hard to. It's not really that crucial, to experiment with it. Like I said, it seems like I have a lot of fabric, so I want to go through and see if the fabric that I have, what's appropriate for what, chart, that I have, and I want to go through and decide that, and almost before I decide which of those dyes to use for what, because I'm not speaking well, but I want to see if want to use those dies in a specific way for a specific chart that I have or whatever, so that I don't just have random, fabric that's not going to match up with anything any chart that I have. So I want to look and see if I can sort of pair things up. One thing that I did, that I did not do, I should say, when I went through all my charts, I don't think I put on there like a called for fabric size or whatever. So I might have to go through my charts again and see, like I said, what fabric might be called for, or at least what fabric size, so that I can sort of go through and see if I have something that will fit the project. And some of those I have a lot of, not a lot, but a little stack of magazines that have, of course, all kinds of charts and all kinds of motifs and things like that that are smaller, that I could, that I probably have appropriate fabric, smaller pieces of fabric to use, whatever. And then I also have the chart book that I recently bought, that big chart book that has lots of different things in it. I think mostly larger and full coverage kind of pieces, where the fabric color and style doesn't matter quite as much. So I want to just kind of go through things and sort of pair up fabric, or see if I have specific fabric needs or whatever, before I do all that, before I color those last few pieces that I have. And then comes, when Stitch Shenanigan comes around, I'll maybe have a better idea of what I want to get, as far as fabric is concerned. Because I kind of want to, I want to choose some just interesting fabrics, there. And so, I, like I said, I want to know what I need. If I need something specific. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. So I think that's probably it. That's probably all I have to talk about, and to, as far as cross stitching is concerned. Last time, I had shared the green chili chicken stew recipe, and my sister pointed out that where I had listed in the ingredients, I had meant to write chicken breasts on there, and autocorrect, when I was posting it, chose breastfeeding instead of breasts for chicken breasts. And I did go back and fix it, so it now it says chicken breasts instead of chicken breastfeeding. But yeah, so so it's chicken breasts. Do not put breastfeeding in there in your chicken stew, or it'll come out completely different. Anyway, so yeah, that recipe has been corrected. Anyway, so okay, I think that's it. We're a good 30 minutes. I don't think there's anything else. So I will see you all. Oh, I've been looking at some of the what's coming out at Nashville, and Hands-On Design has some nice things coming out. And I'm not one to jump on bandwagons and order all kinds of stuff, because I just I really can't afford a whole lot of things, and I'm hesitant to buy things that I will that I may or may not get around to stitching, because I don't want to have a whole lot of haul and a whole lot of things that are undone, because I already have a lot of charts, and more charts than I can probably get to. But anyway, so Hands-On Design has a lot of cute things coming out. So, you know, it's getting very tempting. Anyway, so I think that's it. That's really it. That's really the end. Okay, I'll see you all next time. Bye.